Hey guys, Bobby Hughes here with the Heritage Pride Homestead out in the greenhouse again for another episode of the Hydroponic Rail System vlog. I think this is vlog 11, I'm not sure, but in the last video we changed out, we did a system clean out, and I just did a little update video showing the progress that we've made thus far, and all that good stuff. Just showing how big the plants had gotten and how the NFT system was really doing a good job and everything else. I've run into yet another problem, and I think I know what it is, but we're going to do some tests and find out exactly what's going on with my system right now. And like I've said before in all the videos, this is a learning experience for me and also a learning experience for you if you're out there thinking about building a hydroponic system. I'm kind of going from scratch and learning as I go, and that's okay. I enjoy doing that. You know, I'm one of those people that I like to learn from hands-on. I like to learn from actually doing it. And so if you're not one of those people, these videos could be really helpful. I like to plan for everything or have a plan, but you know, plans don't always go according to plan. So anyway, that's why I do these videos. I keep updating you guys and showing you some problems or issues that I'm having, mainly for two reasons. One, for your input if you know more about it than I do, and two, so that you can learn from my mistakes and know what not to do. So let me show you the system, show you what's going on, and then we're going to do some tests and find out if what I think is the problem is actually the problem. So anyway, let's get to cracking. Alright, so here's the system. See, it's still doing good. The plants are growing, they're getting bigger. Here's the problem. Let me find one here I can pull up. You remember how clean my roots were in the last video? Look how gummed up and yucky, slimy they are now. And another thing, so that's the first thing. Another thing I want to look at is, look right down here. Look how clear that water is. Last time the water wasn't clear like that, and I didn't have all of this sediment floating around in it. Look at that. That's disgusting. And I'm not sure what's causing it, but it's almost like something is sucking the nutrient right out of the water, and I don't think it's the plants, because if it was this one, if it was this rail right here with the big plants, I could understand maybe not having nutrient down here when it came out down here, but these are all, they all match, they all look the same, and I don't think these plants are going to suck that much nutrient out of a 30-gallon reservoir. It's just, I don't know. So anyway, then we look in here in the tank and we see how nasty it is. Look how just gummed up and gross everything looks. There's like a foam. Well, the foam is kind of gone today actually. Yesterday there was a bad foam around the top layer of the water, all the way around it, and I was gonna grab a video of that and I didn't because I didn't know it would go away. But basically we've got a lot of foam. We had a lot of foam, and now today we've got a lot of, I don't know if it's algae or it looks like infectious disease in my water. So anyway, we're going to run a couple of tests and see if we can figure out what's going on. Alright, so here's the nature of my test. If you'll remember in the last video, I was trying to save my rainwater storage for the aquaponic system because I'm doing my ammonia cycle right now, and once the cycle gets close to being completed, I need to do a water change, a really big water change. We're talking like 100 gallons. So I was trying to save my rainwater, as much of it as possible, so I cleaned the system out, drained all of the old water out, and I ended up putting city water back in it. And my city water was unfiltered. It was just straight out of the water hose spigot. So what I have here on the left is my rainwater, or I'm sorry, my city water right out of the tap. And so what we're going to do is check our TDS, or our parts per million. And it's showing, I don't know if you can see it or not, but about 143. So 143 parts per million. That's my city water. So unfiltered, right out of the tap, 143 parts per million. Now I'm going to check my rainwater. And rainwater after filtration is 159 parts per million. So after the trash filter and the carbon filter, I'm at 159 parts per million. So that kind of actually is not what I expected. I expected my rainwater to be basically close to nothing. So what I'm going to do is check our tank right here, and I'm showing 25 parts per million. So this is also rainwater. I just changed the tank out and put fresh rainwater in here. So that beaker that I was using may have had something in it that was causing actually to give me a false reading. So this is actually what I expected. So my rainwater was 147 parts, or I'm sorry, my city water was 147 parts per million, and my rainwater is showing 25 parts per million. So very well could have had something in that beaker that was throwing off the results. So anyway, like I said, that's what I expected. I expected my rainwater to be super low. And I've already added my peroxide into this, so that may be throwing off my parts per million a little bit too, I don't know. But basically your parts per million, when you read that natural water, unfiltered water like that, what that's telling you is that it's got 147 parts per million of something in it. It could be minerals, it could be chemicals, it could be a bunch of different things. But basically it's got something in it. If you combine that with the higher water temperatures that I have here in the tank, I'm running about mid to high 80s. That sets it up for algae to grow. Algae has to have something to grow on. Based on what I know or what I've read, the high parts per million count can give you a it gives the algae, the bad bacteria, something to grow on, whereas the lower parts per million, it doesn't give them as much to grow on. Another thing that I noticed that during my research that I might have been doing wrong was I actually have a little aquarium light. See if I can do this without dropping my camera in the water. You can see it right there? It's a little LED light. I just got it for looks because I like to come out here at night. And so I'd open it up, check out the tank, and it's all lit up. It looked really cool. Light also gives the algae something to grow. It just feeds the algae. It's like growing plants. They need light. So when you've got a light in there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, that's another way to kind of feed the algae. So, or help the algae grow. So the foam or the fuzziness, the nasty, sludgy looking stuff that was in the tank, I think may have had something to do with using the unfiltered city water with the high parts per million, and a combination of that with the light. Now in the past with the rainwater, I've always ran the light, and I've never had any problems. But in this case, it may have been the combination of the two caused that algae and that sludge, that bad bacteria, to start growing. So now I have turned the light off. My box is completely sealed up. There's really no way for daylight to get into it. And I've changed it back out. I went ahead and used 30 gallons of my rainwater storage to put back in the system. This 4 right there was from the original installation of the tank. If you go back to the other video where I did the powdered nutrient, that was my parts per million before I added the nutrient, was 4. So I'm assuming that I'm getting anywhere from 4 to 30 parts per million with my rainwater. I guess depending on what kind of stuff is floating around in there or whatever. But 25, which is, let's double check it again. 25. Yep, we're still at 25. 25 parts per million is a lot less than 147. So I'm hoping now, I'm going to go ahead and put my nutrient back in there. I'm hoping now that solves my problem with the algae growth or the bacteria growth that was in the tank. I did a real good thorough clean out. I took the end caps off of the rails, and you can see it's a mess down here right now. I took the end caps off the rails and I flushed the system out really well. I did use my city water hose, but the rails were pretty much completely dry when I put the caps back in. So I've got the caps back in. I also took my drain caps off, my clean outs. I sprayed a bunch of water down in there, cleaned all of that out. So I cleaned the whole system out, flushed out all of my feed lines, and then I scrubbed my tank out really well with a brush. And then I pumped all that city water out. The crappy part is that every time I use the nutrient, I'm using the General Hydroponics nutrient now, the Flora series, or the Flora series, and I figured it up. It's costing me about $10 to $12 worth of nutrient every time I change the system out or change the tank out. So we just changed the system out. We did a clean out, a 10-day NFT update video. That was the last one. I changed that system out, and it's been running for 3 days since then. So I put $10 or $12 worth of nutrient in it, and now I'm having to change it out and do another $10 or $12 worth of nutrient because I used unfiltered city water. I hope that's the problem. I hope that's what caused it. That's the only real difference in what I did before and what I did this past time. Was the nutrient base was basically the same, and the everything else was pretty much the same. So the only difference really was the city water. So process of elimination basically leads me to believe that the city water, the unfiltered city water with the high parts per million, is what's giving me the bacteria growth, the bad bacteria growth in my system. So I've got this all cleaned out. I'm gonna go ahead and put my nutrient back in it now. One thing I did do, I'll talk about a little bit. You remember the plants were just ridiculous dirty. When you buy the Flora series, the General Hydroponics Flora series, if you buy the little starter kit, it comes with some Flora Clean. It's a clearing solution. You use 1 to 2 teaspoons per gallon of water. So I took a bucket, I put some rainwater in, I put about 2 gallons of rainwater in it. Then I put about 4 teaspoons of Flora Clean in there and stirred it up. And then I took each individual net cup and kind of stuck it down in the water, swished it around a little bit, cleaned those roots off, cleaned the baskets off, the net cups, and cleaned everything up. It's not perfect, but it got a lot of that junk out of there. So I did do that to kind of clean the roots up. So hopefully that doesn't hurt them. It's actually made, the Flora Clean is made to put in the system before you change your do a system change or a water change, to kind of, it cleans the nutrient from the roots and opens the root system back up to receive the new nutrient. So hopefully that has got us good to go. So like I said, I'm going to go ahead and put my nutrient in the system now, and we'll put all our plants back in.
Ah! Don't you get me, you puny pirate! No! No, you're not. Yes, Ray. No way.
Alright, so the nutrients are in. We are pH'd. And the plants are back in the rails with nice clean roots. Only thing I've got left to do is bring the water levels up. I was just waiting for everything to get kind of cycled through. This is what the color of the water should look like. Nice reddish brown color. That's what we're going for. That other water was clear with chunks in it. So I think honestly what had happened is that algae that was in the system, of that bacteria that was growing, actually just absorbed all the nutrients, and that's why the algae just formed so fast, or the bacteria formed so quickly, was because of all the nutrient that was in the water for the plants, and the algae just ate it up. So anyway, all of the plants are still doing good. We've got the seedlings that we started this last go around, and they're all still green, so that's good. Our little tomato here is starting to get pretty big. Not sure if that's a Roma or a Best Boy, but we'll see. We got a couple of pepper plants here, a jalapeno and a bell pepper. So yeah, anyway, got some different stuff going. There's our little pepper seedlings that we started. I'm hoping to honestly get the aquaponic system done and ready to go by the time those guys get, you know, like this size or so, maybe a little bit smaller than this, and I can get them transplanted over into the aquaponic system. So we'll see. Hopefully, pending weather and work and this system not gumming up on me again, I think we should be good. So yeah, the stuff that's growing, man, it's doing great. There's a little guy that we started about 13 days ago, so doing good. I think that's a pepper plant there. Same thing started about 13 days ago. So the squash and the cucumbers are taking over. I really wanted to get them into the aquaponic system so that they had more room to grow, but I think what I'll do is just the squash, I'll just kind of directionally get them to go over and just kind of hang down or grow down the side of the system. I may end up moving the bigger stuff back to the front, and then that way it can just grow over, and the other stuff will have plenty of room to grow back here and not get taken over by the big guys. So anyway, that's pretty much it. Alright guys, so that's it for this video. Don't forget to check out the suggested videos in the link up above here, and the support us link. Also, don't forget to check out our channel if you've never checked us out before, and don't forget to subscribe. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, both suggestions for videos you'd like to see, as well as suggestions for me and my hydro and aqua systems, don't hesitate. Leave them in the comments below. So anyway guys, I appreciate all your input and I appreciate the views. I'm not ignoring your requests thus far for updates on the mainly on the solar heat capture exchange thing that we built back in the fall. I've got a lot of requests for an update. It's been about 6 months since we built it, and I've got some good stuff to go over with you guys on that. It's on the list of videos to do, so don't run off. We're gonna do it. I just haven't had a chance to do that video yet. Also, I had a request the other day for our canned milk video. I don't know if you guys remember that or if you've been around long enough, but back when we lived in Wisconsin, it's been a couple years now, we canned some whole milk, some store-bought whole milk with a pressure canner, and I've still got 3 quarts of it. So we may crack one open and see what it smells like, and I might even taste it. I don't know. We'll see how it smells first. But anyway, I've got a video on that coming up here pretty soon too, as well as some aquaponics, more aquaponics videos. So anyway, like I said, leave your suggestions below. Tell me what kind of videos you guys want to see. I do this for you guys. I do it, you know, I try to just do whatever I've got going on in life. But you know, if you guys want to see a specific video or something, then ask. I can, you know, I can make specific videos. I will be doing some videos later on as well on the general hydroponics nutrient series type stuff, kind of, you know, how I base the dosage and stuff like that. So there's a video of that coming up here pretty soon, and yeah, so we'll just we'll keep rolling. And like I said, if you guys want to see something specific, let me know, and I'll do it for you. So anyway, guys, until next time, get out there, shoot some guns, be safe, and most importantly, have fun. See you guys later.